Today's class will be solving a sum to find out operating cycle. Okay. In the last video, we discussed what is operating cycle. Operating cycle is a vicious circle that starts from cash, then it moves with that cash. You purchase raw material. From raw material you produce finished goods. That finished goods gets converted to either debtors or cash directly, and when we collect cash from debtors get converted to cash again. So this is a vicious circle that goes on. Now today we'll learn that from the information given how to find out operating cycle period. Okay, that means operating cycle period means that the cash that you're investing into business, how long is it taking to get converted to cash again. Okay. The current assets and current liabilities of Nano Limited is given below. Okay. Stock of raw material, this is my opening stock of raw material, this is my closing stock of raw material. Stock of semi-finished goods, semi-finished goods means WIP. Okay. Opening stock of WIP, closing stock of WIP. Stock of finished goods, opening stock of finished goods, closing stock of finished goods. Sundry debtors, opening debtors, closing debtors. Creditors, opening creditors, closing creditors. Sales for the year given. Purchase of raw materials given. Manufacturing expenses 44,000. Distribution and other expenses 14,000. Calculate the operating cycle period. Fine. Okay, let us start the sum. First we'll start with working notes. So what shall we start with? Opening stock of raw material. Okay. Opening stock of raw material. How much is the opening stock of raw material? Opening stock of raw material 33,000. Add purchases. Purchase of raw material 4,50,000. Then less closing stock of raw material. Closing stock of raw material 51,000. So opening stock at purchase less closing stock will give me what? Will give me raw material consumed. Okay, it's coming to 4,32,000. I put a bracket to this figure because I'll be requiring this figure later on. But don't have space in this page. Move on. Then we add manufacturing expenses, because after raw material, after you have introduced the raw material, you will send it to production, and when you will send it to production, you will be incurring manufacturing expenses. And when you will be sending it to production, you will first get this semi-finished goods, means some unfinished goods. So opening semi-finished goods is 35, closing is 43. This is what we have done in cost sheet. Okay. Manufacturing expense. One second. Manufacturing expenses how much? Manufacturing expenses 44,000. With that we'll add opening WIP 35,000, comes to 5,11,000, less closing WIP or semi-finished goods. Okay, they are saying semi-finished. I am habituated of calling it WIP, so I am write WIP. Okay, 5,40, it's coming to 4,68,000. What we get? This we get the factory cost. Here we are purchasing the raw material, we are finding out how much raw material I am sending to production. Okay, this much raw material I am sending to production. Then after I am sent the material to production, I have incurred a manufacturing expenses. I have opening WIP that I'll add. I have a closing WIP that I'll deduct. And what will I get is factory cost. Got it. Then factory part is over. Now comes the office and administration overhead. Office and administrative overhead, as far as I remember, nothing is mentioned in the sum. So I'll just add, after I have added opening WIP and closing WIP, I need to add opening finished goods less closing finished goods. Okay. So this what I have got is cost of production. Okay, this is my entire cost of production. After adding opening finished goods and deducting closing finished goods, what will I get is cost of goods sold. Okay, so let us see how much is my opening finished goods. Opening finished goods 36,000. Okay, stock of finished goods, closing finished goods 18,000. So add 36,000 less 18,000. So cost of production comes to 4,86,000. I'm again putting a bracket because I'll be needing these two amounts later. Now here we are done with this part. Okay. Now here we have found out that throughout the year, I am using this much of raw material to produce my finished output. Okay, this much of raw material is consumed in a year. Then how much is consumed in a day? In the sum, one more time. In the sum, they have asked take 360 days in a year, not 365, for ease of calculation. Okay, so in a year, if I consume 4,32,000 raw material, then average daily consumption of raw material comes to how much? 4,32,000 I am consuming in 360 days. So in one day I am consuming 1,200 ka raw material. And next thing that I need to find out is average stock of raw material. Average stock of raw material means opening raw material plus closing raw material divided by 2. Average means what? Opening plus closing divided by 2. Opening plus closing divided by 2. That is 33,000 plus 51,000 divided by 2. And it's coming to how much? It is coming to 42,000. Okay. So from this information, I am going to the first solution of ours. The first part of the solution, that is raw material storing period. Raw material storing period. Okay. What is the formula for raw material storing period? Average stock of raw material. That means on an average how much stock you are having and every day how much you are consuming. Average daily consumption. Okay. Average stock of raw material you are having, you are supposed to hold on an average 42,000 ka raw material, and every day you consume 1,200 rupees ka raw material. That means your raw material remains in stock for 35 days. Okay, first part is over. Next we have to find out WIP. Next workings. We continue with the workings again. Average, where does the WIP lies? WIP lies here in the factory cost. So average daily factory cost of production. How much? 4,68,000 is the cost of production in 360 days. So each day you'll be incurring 1300. Okay. Then average stock of WIP, that is opening WIP plus closing WIP, that is 35,000 plus 43,000 divided by 2. Okay. It's coming to 39,000. Okay. So we move on to the solution now. On average, you are supposed to keep a stock of this much amount of WIP, and each day you have this much amount of WIP. So WIP storing period. Average stock of semi-finished goods divided by average daily factory cost. Okay. Average stock of semi-finished goods means on average you will have 39,000 in your stock semi-finished goods, and per day your factory cost is 1300. So 39,000 divided by 1300, that means your WIP is on average is in stock for 30 days. 39,000 divided by 1300. After WIP comes the finished goods. Finished goods storing period. Okay. Finished goods storing period. Okay. For finished goods storing period, we need to find what? Need to find this one. We need to finish goods. Finish goods means this one. Cost of goods sold, 4,86,000. So first would be average daily cost of goods sold, that is 4,86,000. This one, 4,86,000 divided by 360 days. Okay. That means your cost of goods sold for entire year is 4,86,000. That means each day your cost of goods sold is 1350. Oh, achha, one more thing. What do we mean by cost of goods sold? Cost of goods sold means the cost price of the goods that you are selling. Suppose you have manufactured a pen for rupees 10 and you are selling it for rupees 50. So your cost of goods sold is 10. Your SP is 50. So profit is 40. So this is the cost of the material that you are selling in the market. This is what is cost of goods sold. Okay. So average daily cost of goods, where each day you are producing, the cost of the goods that you are producing for sale purpose is 1350. Means every day I am producing goods valuing 1350, which I will sell in the market, adding some profit. Okay. Now we find out average stock of finished goods. Average stock of finished goods, that is opening finished goods plus closing finished goods divided by 2. Opening FG plus closing FG divided by 2. It's coming to 36,000 plus 18,000 divided by 2, that is 27,000. So next part of the solution, finished goods storing period. Average stock of finished goods divided by average daily cost of goods sold. Average stock of finished goods is 27,000 divided by 1350. 27,000 divided by 1350. It's coming to how much? It's coming to 20 days. Okay. Raw material, we have found out that we are storing raw material for this much. Raw material got converted to WIP. Okay. what we have generally learned is that cash gets converted to raw material and raw material to finished goods, but in between it can get converted to WIP first, then to finished goods. Means I have introduced the raw material, it is still in process, then it is getting converted to finished goods, then it is creating debtors, then it is creating cash. So we are done with raw material holding, we are done with WIP holding, we are done with finished goods holding. Next we will be doing debtors holding period. Okay. So next is debtors, or this is not debtors holding, the word should have been credit allowed by debtors. Okay. Credit period allowed by debtors. Its formula is average debtors divided by average daily credit sale. We move on to the solution again. Working notes again. Average debtors. Average debtors means what? Average debtor means opening debtors, opening debtors plus closing debtors divided by 2, that is 50 plus 40, 90. 90 divided by 2 is 45,000. Okay. And daily credit sales. Okay. We don't have information regarding credit sales, but we have information regarding sales. So in absence of any information, we'll assume that my entire sale is on credit. So average daily credit sale, that is 5,40,000 divided by 360 days. It's coming to rupees 1,500. Okay. So the solution goes as average debtors 45,000 divided by 1,500 is equals to 30. So adding, and now add this 35 plus 30, 65, 65 plus 20, 85, 85 plus 30, 150. Okay. Now these are the items from whom you are allowing credit. Here I am mistaken one thing, is credit allowed to debtors. That means, what does it mean? You are holding raw material in your hand for 35 days, that means your money is stuck for 35 days. You are holding WIP in stock for 30 days, that means your money is stuck for 30 days. You are holding finished goods for 20 days, that means your money is stuck in finished goods for 20 days. You are allowing credit to debtors for 30 days, that means your money is again stuck for another 30 days. So your money is stuck in for the entire period of 115 days. Now you also get some relaxation, right? Your creditors also allow you some credit, that should be reduced. Credit allowed by creditors. Okay. Here your money is stuck for 115 days, and you are also getting some relaxation from your creditors. The creditors is allowing you a credit period of some days. Okay, you don't need to pay me today because you haven't got your payment, your money is stuck, I can understand, so pay me after some time. So you are enjoying that credit period. So the formula goes as average creditors divided by average daily credit purchase. Okay. Average creditors is how much? 32,000 creditors. You can see 32 plus 48. So average creditors 32,000 divided by 48,000 divided by 2. 32 plus 48 divided by 2, it comes to 40,000. Then daily credit purchase. Average daily credit purchase is how much? Credit purchase, total credit purchase divided by 360 days. Okay, in absence of any information, we will consider the entire purchase of raw material 4,50,000 as the credit purchase. So it comes to 4,50,000 divided by 360. It comes to rupees 1250. Okay. Average credit is 40,000. Daily credit purchase 1250. So here average credit is 40,000 divided by 1250, that is 32 days. So I am getting a relaxation. It is reducing my operating cycle period, so it's 83 days. So in total my money is stuck in the entire process for 83 days. This entire process means your cash is taking 83 days to get converted to cash again. So this is my net operating cycle period. Okay. And considering all the current assets together, it is 115 days. This is my gross working capital cycle period. Thank you.